this world that's filled with so much noise and information, how do we really stand out and be who we were really meant to be? In this podcast, we focus on injecting you with positivity, optimism, and strategies, all centered around helping you be who you were always meant to be in business and life. Be inspired to show up in your own skin, to learn strategies, habits, and skills from others as we share our own life journeys and stories. There's no other you, and you know yourself better than anyone else. So be prepared to take away habitual tidbits, tactics that will encourage you to pursue and live your life, not the one others want you to live. Welcome to Stand Out Be You, where you don't have to be perfect, you just have to be you. Hi, welcome to Stand Out Be You. Tequila here, and I'm excited to have our guest here today, Stacey Huish. Did I butcher that, Stacey, before I get you a little bit more into there?
No, Huish is correct. Huish is how you pronounce it.
Okay, great. She is a strong, powerful game changer. And what I love about it is that she's a speaker, educator, author, and she loves life. And what she's doing right now is she's making an impact because, again, you know, one of my favorites, she's reaching out to acknowledge children. Stacey, go ahead and fill in the gaps and tell us a little bit more about you.
Thank you so much for having me here, and a little bit more about me. Okay, so where do I start? Probably from the beginning is the most simplest and the quickest way. I have lived life to the fullest. I have done things. I have started 5 different businesses, all very successful businesses, and they've all been very different businesses. I have been a healer for a very long time, and I'm a healer of the people, a healer of hearts, a healer of the earth, and a healer of the souls. And this journey that I'm undertaking at the moment is going to be a very healing journey. You know, people will come and listen, people will come and be a part of the book, people will come and share their stories. And at the same time, we're actually going to heal those broken pieces of people and put them back together and make them complete, whole human beings once again.
Yes, I love that, Stacey. When I did look into what you did and what you've done and your story, and what we'll dive a little bit more in detail about, is this new project that you're working on, 1,000 effects, ripple effects. And I love what you're doing with that. Can you dive in a little bit more detail? Because you mentioned healing, and I think this project is a huge healer, or will be.
Yes, 1,000 Ripple Effects is primarily a book. And I'm asking 1,000 people to each write a story and share a piece of advice. So what advice would you give the 15 to 21-year-olds who are making that really important and very significant transition from child to adult? They're starting to become the man that they're going to be. They're starting to become the woman that they're going to be. Stand in their power. Stand in what is true for them. What do they value? What's important to them? And where they fit, what are they going to be doing for the rest of their life? What I'm trying to do is gather as much advice, as much knowledge, as much guidance as we possibly can for these kids who are really becoming those adults of our world. This is not just the book for these kids, okay? That's just one part of it. The other part of it is for the authors, because every single person here is sharing a story. And without the authors, we would not have a book to give to those kids. The authors are the heart of our project. And for them, I've created a marketing platform, a platform for them to stand up and share their message, to be able to tell the world, this is what I do, this is what I'm here for, and this is what I'm about. We want to be able to connect those authors with their people who resonate with them, their customers. So it's about getting their messages out, sharing their purpose and their vision, and connecting them with their community, their people.
Yeah, I absolutely love this project, Stacey, and I have to commend you for doing this. I mean, I think it's absolutely needed. And you just mentioned children or these pre-adults that are entering into our society, because they're our next generation of individuals. And I think it's an amazing project that you're taking on. How did you come about the idea of this project?
This particular idea came to me. I had actually started a book many years ago, and I finished the book, not just started it, but I actually put a book together where I had 30 different authors in the book. And I have been a mum to over 30 kids already. So I've helped kids with advice, I've helped them with questions, I've helped them with life, I've helped them make decisions, all sorts of things. And I looked at this and I went, like, if I've already helped 30 children, there's got to be thousands or millions of children out there who have the same questions, who need the same advice. How can I get to all of them? How can I get to these kids? And I went, well, what if I just put a book together? And it just came into my head. So I don't know where it came from. It's almost like divinely guided intuition a little bit of, what if I create 1,000 stories, creating 1,000 ripple effects right across the world? And those stories come from the community, the people in the community, because everybody has a story. And they can't just come from me because I don't have all the stories.
Yes.
Everybody has a story that somebody can connect with.
Absolutely. And why do you want to do this? Why do you want to make an impact?
There are so many kids out there who are disconnected from their own families. There are so many kids out there who have questions about life, and those questions go unanswered every day. These kids, a lot of the time, make decisions on their own without any adult guidance. And what I have seen, and I'm fairly certain that most people have come across this, you come across some person who's 55 years old and they're still behaving like a 5-year-old. They haven't transitioned from that child to adult. They have been a child their entire life. And there is a massive difference between being a child and being an adult. There's a difference in the psychology.
Yeah.
The psychology of being a boy is different to being a man. Being an adult is about contribution. How do I contribute to the world? How do I contribute to my family, my wife, my husband? How do I contribute to my work, my environment, my community? How do I contribute to the people around me? A child is all about me. A child is all about, what can you give me? Hey, I need this right now. Give me. Yeah. The adult is about contribution. And there's a massive shift in there. We don't help these young adults make that shift. Everybody's going to be like a 5-year-old, even when they're 70. And we don't want that. We want beautiful, loving, supportive, healthy, functioning adults who contribute to our world.
Absolutely, absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more. Let me ask you, what has been, would you say, your biggest challenge with really getting this project going?
My biggest challenge right now is finding all of the authors. That's my biggest challenge. And what I'm really wanting to do is connect with more people, connect with people who are willing to be there and share a story for these kids.
Yeah. Now, Stacey, do they have to be an author to contribute to this, or can it be an individual that may be an entrepreneur, a business owner? Does it have to be an author that gives back to the project?
They don't have to be a writer. They just need to be somebody who cares enough about these kids and says, yes, I will be the mum that you've never had. I will be the dad that you've never had. I will share the advice that you really, truly need to make this transition.
Yes, beautiful, beautiful. And you mentioned a little bit earlier that you already have the marketing in place for individuals that would move forward with doing this. And I think that's another amazing part that you have in the project itself. Tell me a little bit more about that.
Okay, so those people who do become an author in the book, there are radio interviews for them, there are blogs, and later on, once the book has been released and to the public, like we've been starting to give the books away, I've actually created a TV show called 1,000 Ripple Effects TV show, and people can actually be interviewed on there and showcased on the show. There will be a platform like a TED stage for people to actually get their messages out to the world. There'll be online summits for them to be a part of. All of these are as a platform. It's a marketing platform to connect you with your audience. You get to speak and share your vision and your mission, your purpose with the world. And people get to hear all of that. And that is a massive difference, because when you're speaking on these platforms, that helps you to become the expert in your field. All of a sudden, you're an expert.
Absolutely. You know, Stacey, I think that individuals who take on projects like this are some of the most amazing beings on earth, you know, that are here in our society. You never know what they're doing, and they're standing right next to you, and they are giving back to the community. So I really commend you for doing what you're doing. Let me ask you, what has been the biggest or the most amazing thing that you've seen? Because you said you've already been helping children, the 30. What's been the most amazing transition that you've seen from helping the children that you've actually connected with?
The most amazing transition that I have seen. There's just been so many of them. The most amazing thing that I have really seen is when I have taken the time to really connect with one of these young people. They stop and they really listen. And they go, really, you care and you want to help me? I go, yes. And you can see that. You can see them going, oh, okay, I will listen to you. And they take my advice. That's where it is at. So, because most people say, oh, you know, young people, they don't listen. They do listen. If you show them that you care about them and you want to help them, they listen and they take your advice. It is amazing how much that they do take on.
Yeah, that's awesome. And with the book, once you pull everything together and you have the project all in a beautiful bow, what will happen? What do you see happening with the book?
Oh, this is my most favorite part. The book will be ready on the 1st of November 2018. Okay, so we're a good 12 months away, and that can go pretty quick. So what will happen is I am going to then give this book away to the 15 to 21-year-olds. 12 months later, there's going to be another 300,000 people turn 15. So we're going to give another 300,000 books away again. And the following year, there's going to be another couple 100,000 kids turn 15. We're going to give another 300,000 books away again. This is a very perpetual project.
Wow.
This project is going to be reaching out to those kids year after year after year. There will be opportunities. Once those kids have received the book, there's an opportunity for them to be a part of this project as well. They get to connect with the authors. They get to have a stage, a platform of their own to share their own visions, their own purpose, and their own missions as well. So we're going to really take this project for many years and really get out there on a grassroots level and connect with each and every young person that there is and really help them transition into that beautiful, loving, caring, supportive adult.
You're creating history, Stacey.
Yes.
You're a very amazing individual. Tell me, who has been your biggest inspiration? Who's inspired you the most?
Who has inspired me?
Yeah.
The kids, every young person I have spoken to, that I have helped answer their questions. These are the ones who have inspired me. These are the ones I feel like a mum to all of these kids. And like any good mum out there, she will do whatever is needed for her kids. And this is what I feel that I'm doing right now, that I am their mum and I am helping them in the best way that I possibly can to connect with the other people around them to transition. It's those kids who have inspired me to do this.
Yeah. So, Stacey, if one wanted to go ahead and become an author and participate in the project, where could they go to find out more information and to participate?
The best thing to do is go straight to the website, which is www.tequila, 1000rippleeffects.com. And to become an author, scroll to the big red button and click the big red button and fill out the form. Your name, email address, phone number, and your story topics are all on the website, which you can find. That's how you become an author.
Yes. And listeners, I will link that in the show notes so that you'll have information for 1000rippleeffects.com. First, before we go into the next portion of this call, I want to, again, thank you so much for sharing your story and trying to capture also other individual stories for a fantastic cause, and that's to help children and that are pre-adults that are entering into our society. I couldn't think of anything that's more commendable, and I thank you for that.
Thank you.
So this next part, I like to do this. I like to get a little bit more into your personality. So we're going to step out and I'm going to ask you a round of questions. And the first question that I'd like to ask you is, this is perfect, this question for you. What would you today tell your 10-year-old self about life?
I would tell my 10-year-old self, life is what you make it, truly. Every situation you come to and are presented with, you have a choice how you behave, you have a choice in what you say, you have a choice in what you do. It is that choice in that moment that will shape the life that you have. It is always your choice, and understand it's your choice that creates the result.
Awesome. Well said, well said. What's the farthest city you've ever visited from your birth city?
Christchurch in New Zealand.
Awesome, awesome. Oh, my son is wanting to get to New Zealand so bad. He keeps asking us and asking us. Now, this next one's a little fun. If you could be any animal in the world, what animal would you be and why?
Oh, my gosh. I would be a bird so I can fly everywhere.
Yeah.
I can land, I can fly, I can get out of danger, I can keep going. Yeah, I'd be a bird, definitely.
Good one. And I like to ask this last one only because my mom gave me the fun name Tequila, so I like to ask other individuals the same thing. What is the story behind your name? And I really want you to share the story behind your last name, too.
Okay. I know the story behind my last name, which is Huish. It is a Dutch name, and its meaning is home. And I love this name, and I share this name so much because every time I talk with someone, I say, when you're with me, you're home.
Yeah.
Okay? And home is a place of safety and trust. Home is where you have all the love in the world, all the care and all the support in the world. So when you're with Stacey Huish, you're at home.
I love that, Stacey. I love that. So again, listeners, there you have it. Stacey is doing something that's really big, and it should be dear to each and every person's heart. And that's helping our children that are entering into our society be the best individuals that they can be. And to connect with her, remember you can find her at 1000rippleeffects.com. I will link that in the show notes. Stacey, do you have anything else for us?
The only thing I have is that everybody has a story, and come and be a part of our project because you're actually forming the village for those kids. You've heard the saying, it takes a village to raise a child. This book is the village raising the kids out there in the world. Be a part of the village for those kids.
Thank you, Stacey, so much. And until next time, everyone, remember to stand out and be you. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today on Stand Out Be You podcast. I appreciate each and every one of you. If you could take the time to share this episode with someone you think would be touched as well, please go ahead and do so. Or if you know of anyone that has a good story that needs to be shared, then go ahead, let them know as well to reach out to me. Also, if you are motivated to do so, please go ahead and leave a great review. I would so appreciate it. And tell us what you think about what you've been hearing. Also, you can leave me a voicemail by going to tequiladodard.com. It will help us so much with keeping this podcast going and helping to reach more people. Until next time, remember to stand out, be you, and that you don't have to be perfect. You just have to be you.